Alright guys and gals, here we are. Welcome to today's project. What we got going on here today, we got the 1971 Chevelle back in the shop. It did leave, but anyhow. We're working on the core support front end. We're trying to get all this stuff mocked up here. You know, I'm getting excited, we're getting pumped, getting ready for paint. But you want to slow down at this stage. Get all this detailed stuff worked out before you start spraying paint on this thing. Let me get you over here and show you what we got going on. So what we got here, okay, we got a mix of old and new. All right, if you guys aren't familiar with this project, go back and check it out. You'll see how we got to this stage, all right? Now what we got here, we got some factory components and some aftermarket components. All right, now this core support was from one manufacturer. It's not the same as the fenders. And then our inner fenders are from another manufacturer. You guys and gals out there building hot rods, you know the part struggle these days. It is almost impossible to get parts. And then when you do find them, the shipping is just, it's outrageous. So, where we're at today, this is what we got going on. You'll notice there's no bowl here. That's because that's left out for the battery tray. What we're working on here is we need to get this core support mounted to the front end to see where we're at. But what I've run into here, okay, is on this aftermarket core support, this flange, and this is another example, guys. The aftermarket pieces, you know, they're not exact replicas, okay, but they're pretty close. And when you got rust situations, sometimes this is what we got. This is what we have to deal with. So what you're looking at here, this mark here, all right, is showing that's how much material I got to remove so that my clip can function like these. All right, you see they're only so deep. You see the shoulder, and then that, yeah, okay, so that's what holds that on. Well, you know, when you go to put them on here, they don't fit. All right, now this side over here we already did. Let's get you over here and check this out. All right, there you go. You can see how we did that. Okay, and I know you Chevelle purists are gonna, you know these belong on the inner fender. Yes, I do. I'm aware of that. But this is part of the deal with aftermarket parts. Sometimes you have to make adjustments, and that was one of the adjustments I chose to make because it just looks better. It looks cleaner. Okay, so normally the bolts will come down through the top here. Not a big deal. They're just going to come up from the bottom. So what we're going to do today, we're going to try to get this thing all mocked up, front end all put together here on the floor. Okay, because that's where I got space for it. And then if we have time, we'll touch on some of this custom touches. Yeah, functional too. All right, so let me get you set up here. Let's get going. Let's see what we can get done today. All right. I'll click you back on when we get moving. Alright guys and gals, here we go. I got my 4.5 inch cut off wheel. We're going to get this here cut out. Now, I will tell you, safety first, guys. You know, I don't think we need to say anymore. So, let me see if I can get this cut off here. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch this over quick. We're going to hit this with a flat disc just to smooth any of these burrs, rough edges off. Because you know, you just don't want to be cutting yourself all up on these projects while you're trying to work and make things pretty. You don't want to bleed all over. Get you over here and show you what we got. All right, so there you go. Let me step around here. Now you can see we've shortened the distance here between our opening and where our flange mount is. So that our clips will fit. Let me see if I can grab. Sorry, not prepared. All right, so here we go. That goes on there. Hard to do with one hand. Slides on there. I'm gonna grab my little tappy hammer. All right, here we go. And there you go, guys and gals. You can see, just a little bit of fitment. Any kind of issues that come up, you just use your needle. You can come up with a solution. And let's see, I'm gonna have to taper that down here a little bit, but so far so good. Okay, so I'm gonna get this set up here so I can get these fenders maybe mocked up into place. Let's put this front end on. All right, stay tuned, guys and gals. We'll get you something nice to look at here in a second. All right, you excited? I know I am. All right, guys and gals. I mean to tell you, here we go. What do you think? Got her all mocked up. Don't mind my little workstation here. This is things we got to do, Small space, small place. All right, let me get you in here so you can see what's going on. I mean to tell you, look how nice a quality this stuff is. Okay, nice heavy flanges. Everything's just, I love it. It's great. All right, so this is what I was talking about, guys and gals. All right, look how clean that looks. All right, we don't have any oversized holes. Everything's covered up nicely. Okay, anything over here? Look how beautiful. All right, have the fenders all bolted up. And they're bolted. They're there. Can't tell, I'm a little excited. This is just a huge milestone here, okay? Factory parts all mounted to the aftermarket parts, to the factory parts. We're doing big things. All right. Now, let me get you under here so you can see what I was talking about from the underside. Okay, look at that. This is why we went with this route, okay? We bolted from underneath. Okay, let's be honest. We're attaching there's 4 pieces here we're putting together. All right, I really don't think it matters which way the bolts come, but that's where we're at. All right, so let's get to talk about this top piece here. All right, a lot of times you'll see they make filler pieces, all that stuff. I want to do something custom, okay? This is not a factory restoration. We're not going for numbers matching. It doesn't have to be anything. So if you want to categorize this car, all right, I don't mind the mess. If you want to categorize this car, let's call it what it is. It's a resto mod, all right? So therefore, no harm, no foul. We can have some fun with her. And that's exactly what we plan on doing. All right, let's get you back over here. So what I'm gonna end up doing is drag my welder out. Let's get this top plate all welded up, get that finished up. Might even have a chance to do some final little details on this guy. All right, I'll get you set up here and we'll keep moving ahead. All right, guys and gals, here we are. We're at the shop. We're getting this 71 Chevelle going. Got everything fitted up, mocked up, look great. Happy with all that stuff. So let's take the time now, since we got that going. Let's have a little fun. Let's do some customizing. Let's lighten it up a little bit, switch up some gears here. Let's do this, okay? Got my welder set up here. Got it all pulled out. We're gonna finish spot welding this top. If you notice there, I spot welded. And the reason I spot welded is because heat distribution. We don't wanna heat soak this thing. This is thin material here, guys. Okay? The core support's a little thicker. The metal piece I use is the same thickness as the core support, but this front piece, okay, and a lot of people are going to question me on this. Why did you attach that? There's a reason for that. I want this thing, when you first open the hood, to look like it's completely finished. A lot of people that have these cars know that this is open, okay? So what that does, it creates an air draft in the system, and it takes away the air from the radiator. We're trying to eliminate that. we want the air to be, boom, forced in the radiator. So this is what we're going with, okay? So let me get this going. Let's get this welded up. Show you what we're working with. Disclosure here, I'm closing my eyes. And you guys, okay, don't do this. Get your hoods out, get your gloves on. Remember, safety first. And you'll notice I'm tacking welding this, okay? And I'm leaving space between the welds. I'm spreading the heat load here. I don't want to warp this front panel. This is very crucial to our hood alignment and a lot of other things. So, with that being said, just take your time here, guys and gals. Get this all welded up, and we'll get you cut back on and show you what that looks like. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys and gals. There you can see, okay? Now, I will tell you something here, okay? I know my welder has a gas bottle on it, but when I'm doing sheet metal work, I use the fluxless, gasless wire, okay? It's just, I found over the years that I like it better. It grinds nice, it's convenient, you don't have to constantly fill your gas bottle up. Okay, because I'm forgetful and I forget to turn the valve off and all that, it leaks in the end. Yeah. So, this is where we're at, okay? Now, if I were doing an exposed weld, I would not use this, okay? As you can see, it's a little dirty. But, it'll do the job. Alright, so that's what we're doing. We're going around here, we're spot welding this, so we keep the heat off of the panel as much as possible, okay? Welding creates heat, yeah, yada, yada, yada. You all know that. So, what we're going to do, we're going to take our time here, weld this up. That way we can get it all ground smooth, get it prepped and ready, start doing some body work. Alright, I'll cut you back on when I get it all welded. Alright, guys and gals, I wanted to cut you back on here and show you what we got going on. So this is what you're going to have. You're going to spot weld this, alright, until this whole seam is filled in, solid, alright? That's what your goal is. But like I said, don't force it. Now, a lot of people are going to wonder, like, how long do I wait? How much time to get in between? Okay? Take your bare hand, put it on there. Okay? If you can't do that, you can't weld yet. Alright? Now, guys, let's be smart about it. Don't just finish welding, throw the torch down, and then put your hand on it. You're going to get burnt. Alright? Let's use our noodles. Alright. Looking good. See, it's key. You want to let that heat distribute and escape. Okay? Keep that nice and flat. Let me see if I can get it down here so you can see this. Alright, that's what we're after. We want that smooth. We don't want to have to go back in here and be Bondo bandits like the fellers that had this car before. We're not going to do that. We're going to take our time to do this right. Alright, it might be nerve-wracking. You might be getting frustrated and think I just blast welds in there. Don't do that. Trust me, don't do that. Alright, let me get this done and we'll cut you back on and show you what it looks like. Alright, we'll click you back on here in a second. Alright, guys, I got Teeny. You sleep, buddy? Oh, not anymore. Okay, my bad. Come back to bed. Alright, so, guys and gals, here we are. Back with the 71 Chevelle. We're working on the front clip today. So, for those of you who've been with me this long, thank you very much. You're going to get a nice little treat here. Check this out, guys and gals. There you go. So we got this whole thing basically butt welded in. Alright, so that's now one solid piece. Alright, now like I said before, take your time. You don't want to force this. You don't want to weld this super fast and hot. It's going to warp this panel all to pieces. You don't want to do that. Alright, so let's go in here and see. Alright, everybody's probably wondering, well, how do you get that out? Okay, you'll notice these two bolts here, right? That's for the hood latch assembly. The hood latch assembly, this thing here. So, you see that still functions in its full swing of motion, all that good stuff. Now, down in here is where the hood actually latches, okay? All right. Now, what I've come up with, I just don't want to leave that plate like that and just leave that all open. So what we're going to do, okay, make these little trim pieces. All right, sorry, that was really. But what we're going to do, we're going to get these fitted on here. All right, look at that. That just cleans up that hole and gives it another little custom touch. Okay? Now, guys and gals, this is the type of stuff that really will set your ride apart from everybody else's. All right? Because this just shows you're willing to take that next step just to make it that much cooler. Okay? So, now, full discretion. I did make these off camera, obviously. I'm going to save you the boringness of making that. But what we're going to do here, we're going to get this all mocked up, get these holes drilled in here, get this stuff fitted, so that way we can do, you know, a little mud work on this top piece. Because my goal here, I'm trying to get this stuff all fitted up, mocked up, ready for paint. So as soon as I can get this done, okay, I can check this off the list, and then now I can start doing body work and getting to the fun part, the paint. All right, we got a lot going on here, okay, guys and gals. But once the car comes together, I think you guys are going to love what I got in mind here. It's just going to be that cool custom touch, but it's not going to be so much in your face, okay? If you didn't know the car, you wouldn't know we did it. But the people that do know these cars are going to appreciate the effort we put into this. So stay tuned. We'll get you set up here. I'm going to have to find some hardware and get this all figured out. Well, I got you anyhow. The latch, okay? A lot of you are going to wonder, like, how do you get the latch out, okay? I still have access to all the mounting hardware for this. Okay, is it going to be a pain as opposed to the way the stock one was? Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? Custom cool stuff, it's usually a pain. All right, so let me get this going. We'll cut you back on when we got it done. All right. All right, guys and gals. Another little fancy tool I'm going to share with you. This is a spring punch. Okay, you can get these, same thing. Local hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, Harbor Freight. They all got them. So, what we're going to end up doing here, okay, we got these pretty well where we want them. You go ahead and take this, sit it in there, and all you have to do, check this out. Push down on it 1 or 2 times, fill up. Gives you a perfect little indent. There we go. Yeah, right there. I know it's hard to tell. But it gives you an indent so that your drill bit don't be dancing all over the place, okay? So if nothing else, there's a little fancy tip for you. You know, see that? No hammer, just... There you go. All right. All right, guys and gals, here we go. Now look at what we got here, okay? This is flat stock aluminum. All right. This is a piece 16 gauge sheet metal. All right. This is what we come up with. Now come on, how cool is that? A little bit of effort, a little bit of being inventive. I mean, that is slick, y'all. Now what this will allow me to do, okay, all this stuff under here is going to be body color. Alright, so that'll allow me to use this as an accent, okay? Not only is it going to draw attention to it, but, you know, I could polish this, we could anodize this, I could paint this black, you know, make it a feature. And, you know, I don't know, to tell you the truth, I don't think we're going to have any interference issues with our hood, okay? But if we do, we can go ahead and just put button style fasteners here, so a lower profile, or even a countersunk deal. I haven't decided. That's just what I was able to find laying around the shop here, okay? So there you go. All right, pretty slick. All right, guys and gals, here we are back on the 71 Chevelle. So, little disclaimer, okay? when we get in here and start modifying things and making things custom and using aftermarket parts to try and get things fitted up, you're going to run into some issues, okay? Here is, I can't say that this is factory because I don't know where this came from, all right? But let me put this up here just to show you. This doesn't line up as well, okay? Could this be an aftermarket part? Probably, okay? But this is what we're going to do with it, yep. Done with that. Anyhow, so what we're going to end up doing here, guys and gals, we're going to make another custom piece. So what I need to do is get my radiator set in here, this opening where it lives, and then see what we're working with, all right? Cut you back on when I get that put in. All right, guys and gals, there we go. I think we're going to call it quits for today. Got the radiator made up in there, and have to check back with us and see how we handle making the new radiator support hold down. All right, you know why we do it. We do it for the love of hot rods and horsepower. Go out there and get you a project. Start having fun. We definitely are. We'll catch you guys on the next one.